Philosophy's Quest.
Welcome to our journey into the world of Stoic philosophy, where we explore the wisdom of ancient Stoic philosophers and their insights into navigating the complexities of human relationships. As the great Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best." Today, we will delve deep into the timeless Stoic wisdom and discuss the 7 types of people Stoicism warns us about and how to navigate these challenging relationships. Before we embark on this enlightening journey, I'd like to ask for your support. Please like this video to help us continue spreading the Stoic philosophy. If you're not already subscribed, I strongly recommend hitting that subscribe button and activating the bell so you don't miss any of our inspiring content. Now, let's explore these 7 types of people that Stoicism warns us about and how to apply Stoic principles to deal with them. Number 1, the complainer. We all have that friend, family member, or coworker who seems to find fault in everything, earning them the label of the complainer. Whether it's the relentless bemoaning of the weather, their never-ending grievances about their job, or even their meticulous critique of the food at a popular restaurant, their dissatisfaction knows no bounds. At first glance, you might wonder why you should concern yourself with the complainer. After all, you could simply choose to ignore them, right? Well, it's not as simple as that. Consistent exposure to such negativity can have a draining effect on your mental well-being, akin to a leaky faucet slowly depleting your reservoir of emotional energy. Stoicism teaches us to focus on actionable solutions rather than dwelling on problems. For example, imagine collaborating on a project with someone who is a perpetual complainer. Each meeting turns into an exhausting session of complaints without any constructive dialogue. The impact on the team's morale is evident, and your focus shifts from finding actionable solutions to managing the complaints. So, how does Stoicism help us deal with the complainer? There are several strategies you can employ. First, limit your exposure to this individual whenever you can. If that's not possible, perhaps because they're a family member or colleague, your second option is to mentally distance yourself during their diatribes. Think of their complaints as a passing storm, loud and unsettling, but ultimately temporary and powerless against the unmovable mountain that is your own inner tranquility. Your third option is to steer the conversation towards solutions or to change the subject to something more constructive. To quote Marcus Aurelius, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This timeless Stoic wisdom encourages us to guard our mental peace diligently, ensuring that the negativity from chronic complainers doesn't deviate us from our Stoic path of resilience and virtue. Number 2, the drama magnet. In the grand narrative of life, we often sail our ships through the calm waters of our daily routines and aspirations. But occasionally, we encounter a whirlpool known as the drama magnet. This individual possesses an uncanny ability to attract crises, conflicts, and controversies into their lives, turning your tranquil voyage into a tumultuous storm. At first, you might find yourself drawn to the drama magnet's energy, mistaking it for passion or excitement. However, as time passes, you begin to realize that being in their sphere is like navigating a ship through a never-ending storm, exhausting and dangerous. Their crises often start to feel like your own, and you might even find yourself embroiled in conflicts that you had no initial part in. Imagine a friend who frequently has fallouts with others in your social circle. Today, they're not talking to Sarah. Tomorrow, it's Tom. Your friend comes to you for advice, but you notice that this cycle never ends. Suddenly, you find yourself at odds with Sarah or Tom because you tried to intervene. Dealing with a drama magnet is tricky because their crises can feel like your own. Their chaos is infectious, and their conflicts become intertwined with your life. So, what's your move when dealing with a drama magnet, especially if there's someone close to you? One unconventional but effective method is to employ reflective listening. Instead of offering advice or taking sides, mirror their words back to them. For example, if they say, "I can't believe Sarah said that about me," you could respond with, "So you're feeling betrayed by Sarah's words." This technique allows you to provide emotional support without getting entangled in the drama yourself. Another approach, which might sound counterintuitive, is to become selectively unavailable. Stoicism reminds us to value our time highly, and sometimes that means being unavailable for other people's crises, especially if they're recurring without resolution. Turn off your phone during certain hours. Create focused periods where you concentrate solely on your work or personal development, and let it be known that during these times you're not to be disturbed. To paraphrase Seneca, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. This can be particularly helpful when dealing with trauma magnets. Instead of anxiously wondering what crisis will happen next, concentrate on the present moment where you have control. Enjoy your life and don't let it be disrupted by someone else's trauma. Make it a point to sail your ship calmly, steering clear of whirlpools that threaten your voyage towards personal growth and tranquility. Number 3, the naysayer. In the grand tapestry of life, you are the artist painting your canvas, each brushstroke adding depth and color to your vision. But then, there's the naysayer, who walks into your studio and immediately starts critiquing your work. They cast doubts on your choices, and their words act like strokes of gray paint, dulling your vibrant canvas. It's essential to distinguish between constructive criticism, which can be valuable, and the persistent aura of doubt and negativity that the naysayer brings. Imagine you're excited about pursuing a new career path. You've done your research, spoken to professionals in the field, and maybe even taken a few preliminary courses. When you share your enthusiasm with the naysayer, they quickly list all the reasons it won't work out. The market is too competitive. Do you have the right skills? What if you fail? Soon enough, their doubts start to feel like your own, and your self-assured vision starts to wobble. How do you deal with the naysayer, especially when they might be someone close to you? One unconventional but effective method is to ask them for advice rather than just sharing your plans or aspirations. When people are put in an advisory role, they're less likely to attack your ideas outright and may offer more constructive feedback. Another method involves flipping the script through a technique called positive confrontation. Instead of absorbing their negativity, challenge them to think of solutions. If they say, "You'll never be able to switch careers at this stage," counter with an interesting perspective. How do you think someone could successfully make a career change? This not only deflects the negativity, but also encourages a more constructive form of conversation. Remember the words of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. When dealing with the naysayer, listen, reflect, and continue painting your own life with the colors that speak to you. Don't let anyone turn your vibrant masterpiece into a dull gray landscape. Number 4, the victim. Imagine life as a grand chess game, each player having the same pieces and the same goal, to checkmate the opponent's king. In this game, you strategize, make sacrifices, and take calculated risks. But then there's the victim, who sees themselves perpetually in checkmate, not because of their choices, but because of external forces working against them. They cast themselves as the helpless protagonist in a never-ending tale of woe. It's crucial to note that some people do face genuine hardships and systemic issues. However, the victim we're discussing uses their predicament as a permanent excuse, refusing to take any responsibility for their actions or lack thereof. You might find yourself entangled in their storyline, perhaps as the supporting character who constantly needs to rescue them. Let's say you've spent countless hours listening to a friend blame their endless string of failed relationships entirely on their ex-partners. Not only does this suck up your time, but it can also subtly encourage you to adopt a similar victim mindset in your own life. So, what's your move when dealing with the victim? It might be tempting to become their savior, offering endless advice and emotional support. But the Stoics would caution against this. They'd recommend drawing a firm boundary to protect your own mental state. You could employ a technique known as compassionate detachment. Show empathy and kindness, but don't try to rescue them from situations they need to navigate themselves. Offer a listening ear, but refrain from becoming their perpetual problem solver. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." If you find yourself sucked into the victim's narrative, resist the urge to become one yourself. Take control of your own game board, make your moves, and remember that in the chess game of life, being perpetually in checkmate is often a choice, not a fate. Number 5, the toxic positivist. In the grand symphony of life, you orchestrate your daily routine with a carefully crafted balance. Just like in any symphony, there are moments of harmony and moments of discord. Then enters the toxic positivist. This individual is always exuding sunshine, rainbows, and endless streams of emojis. They believe that a simple "just be happy" can fix any problem, dismissing your genuine feelings and experiences with a wave of glittery optimism. While their approach may seem uplifting on the surface, it can make you feel invalidated and disconnected from the complexities of life. Picture yourself going through a tough breakup. You're sad, confused, and seeking emotional balance. The toxic positivist's advice: there are plenty of fish in the sea. Just smile and be happy? Their excessive positivity neglects the depth of your emotions and the reality of life's challenges. Stoicism reminds us to embrace life's complexity with equanimity. When dealing with a toxic positivist, you can engage in discussions that embrace both light and shadow. Acknowledge and label your nuanced feelings, and remember that Stoic philosophy isn't about focusing solely on the positive or the negative. It's about embracing life's complexity with equanimity. The key to dealing with the toxic positivist is to engage them in a discussion that recognizes the full range of human emotions. When they insist that you should just be happy, gently explain that it's okay to feel a range of emotions, both positive and negative. Encourage a balanced perspective that appreciates the nuances of life. Number 6, the manipulator. Imagine your life as a captivating movie script, and you are the main character with a clear vision of your story. You have an idea of how your narrative should unfold, where the twists and turns should occur, who your allies and mentors are, and what the final act should look like. But then, there's the manipulator, the shadowy producer, who subtly rewrites your script to serve their agenda. The manipulator is skilled in the art of emotional and psychological maneuvering. They might use flattery, guilt trips, or even deceit to steer you in a direction that benefits them. Recognizing and dealing with the manipulator can be challenging, but Stoicism offers valuable guidance. One effective strategy is known as fogging. This technique involves agreeing with any truth in the manipulator's statements, but refusing to be moved by emotional coercion. For example, if they employ flattery to manipulate you, acknowledge the truth in their words while not succumbing to their agenda. Setting clear boundaries and enforcing them is another powerful strategy. If the manipulator wants you to lend them money or commit to tasks you're uncomfortable with, learn to say no assertively. Keep your tone calm and your words clear, such as, "I can't lend money, but I'm here to offer emotional support." Remember that life is yours to write, and you should not let anyone manipulate your life's narrative. The manipulator thrives on your predictable reactions. By choosing to respond differently, you are taking control of your story. Number 7, the time vampire. In the grand orchestration of life, you maintain a carefully crafted symphony, each task and commitment representing an instrument. This symphony is designed to create a harmonious balance in your daily routine. But then, there's the disruptor known as the time vampire. This individual might not be malicious, but their presence has the power to screech off key in your symphony, drowning out your melody and turning your once harmonious composition into discordant noise. The time vampire is not necessarily a saboteur. They may be oblivious to the impact of their actions. It could be a colleague who frequently interrupts you with trivial questions, fragmenting your productive workday. It might also be a friend who extends countless social invitations you're not interested in, making you feel obligated to attend and sapping your time and energy. These interactions may seem insignificant on their own, but their cumulative effect can be profoundly disruptive. Stoicism teaches us that time is one of our most precious resources and should be allocated wisely. It's the canvas on which we paint the portrait of our lives, and we should be highly selective about who and what deserves a stroke of our brush. When confronting a time vampire, one effective strategy is to implement the Pomodoro technique. This time management method breaks your work into intervals, traditionally 25 minutes separated by short breaks. During these intervals, make it clear that you're not to be disturbed, setting a boundary to protect your most productive times from being nibbled away. As we conclude our exploration, remember that Stoicism isn't just about navigating the world. It's about understanding and improving ourselves. We hope this journey has sparked introspection and self-improvement in your own life. Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section, and let's engage in a dialogue that enriches us all. Until next time, may your choices align with your virtues, may your actions reflect your wisdom, and may your life be the masterpiece you're meant to create. Thank you for joining us on this inspiring journey through the wisdom of Stoicism.